Unseen, unearned. Here we go! Left leg! That's one for us. A squad mate took a bet to steal an ogre's club. He lost that bet. And both arms. If the militia had any formal instruction, they'd get it here.
You're a damn good shot, you know that?
Oh, I'm well aware. Thank you. It's very sweet.
No. Where'd you learn to shoot? Nice when the city was still.
You really want to know the answer to that question?
Excuse me?
You know what?
What the God's name are you talking about?
Think about it. Nobody coming in and out. No smugglers to look out for. No more errands coming into the city.
You actually kind of have a fair point there.
Well, no one's come to claim him. I suppose I should.
Welcome back, Envoy. Show it here. It's a shame it had to be like this. Desperate times can drive good kith to do terrible things. Guess you were just the one storm she couldn't survive. Remind me not to get on your bad side, Envoy. Be safe out there, you hear?
You there. You look like you know your way around... hello. I heard what happened. I see why you'd want to protect yourself. Probably because I made them. Or most of them, anyway. I've already been paid for them. If Volter happens to stumble onto them later, what can I do?
You should see the drunks try to grab the lanterns. Gets me every time.
Are you sure this will work?
Good, sir. Yeah, so close. But what's the point? Oh, you are a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us. Then you might want to get a hood, or a mask, or something. You should know, this place is heading quickly into a swamp of madness. Even the plants and the animals feel it. Very kind of you to ask. Very kind. You're the first to offer to help me in, well, ever. Sapiento di Falva, alchemist and dreamer, at your Hey, so close. Oh, you are a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us. No, of course I'm not drunk. I'm an alchemist. You should know, this place is heading quickly into a swamp of madness. Even the plants and the animals feel it. Very kind of you to ask. Very kind. You're the first to offer to help me in, well, ever. Sapiento di Falva, alchemist and dreamer, at your service. My latest experiment was meant to solve the scourge that has come over the local flora and the fauna, but it wasn't meant to be. I expected my main reagent to be delivered today, but I suppose the gods had other ideas. Awakened Adra has already failed me. No, I have the misfortune of requiring luminous Adra for this experiment. The gentlemen who are supposed to acquire my Adra have not delivered it, and they seem to be avoiding me, as if they fear my wrath. Which is impossible. Yes, I thought so too. But they offered a very sensible deal and swore they had a supplier. Certainly seemed honest to me. My friends must have lied. Or they got the Adra and they lost it. I can't imagine why else they would be acting so strange about it. Interesting that you think I'd name names while talking to the newly arrived envoy from Adir. But yes, Adelgund, often by the western gate, she knew some animancers and she might know something. I don't wish them ill, but I really need that Adra. Any luminous Adra will do, he said, as if the stuff were falling from the sky.
You died. But you're here. Still can't believe you're alive. I'll keep trying. But there's not much to be done for Fort Northreach.
Envoy, is it really you? I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel? And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor? Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation. With that, I have better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles. Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities. No doubt some superstitious peasant toiling in the fields. The Living Lands has plenty of both. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire. Your instincts do you credit. They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open. Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think. The Steel Garrote got involved, and it turned quite ugly.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion to being told what to do.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Blend in, for one thing. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the living lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. Oh, before you go, we received a report from Liviana about your condition. Apparently, you're in fine shape. Once your killer has been dealt with, you can come and go as you please. Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it. You'll have tales aplenty, that's for certain. And a long tapestry of battle scars. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
I wouldn't say that. He's just curious company for you to keep. It's nothing like that. You run into all sorts of characters around here, is all. Some more polite than others.
Well,
Kai?
come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
Of course, sir. Apologies for the distraction. How can I help you? There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific? Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds. The Living Lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator. The Living Lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes. I'll share what I can. There is no singular authority in the Living Lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the Living Lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise. Solace is, what is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pargrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active. Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Fiume Severno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord. Naturally. The Pargrunen are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pargrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do. The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colonies saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky they've had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that. Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the Thirdborn children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are a people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out. Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather, was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Ukaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Almawa, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
Of course. Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Clavager's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Clavager Amon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me. Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like rotting in this embassy. Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, envoy.
Hey, it's the envoy!
Envoy, hey!
I swear, I owe you the world.
I owe him the world. He saved my life, remember?
Yeah, you only told me about 100 times.
Hey, where's Yeda? Is everyone else on their way?
No. Oh, gods. Does he mean...
They didn't make it, Offreak. I'm sorry.
But you saved Cadman. You couldn't save them? Or you didn't try?
What happened?
What?
It probably went quickly, if that helps.
I can't understand this.
Hey, Offreak, hey, listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves.
Better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if.
Did you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead? At least they got justice.
And I got my brother back.
Don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me.
What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy.
Gods, you're telling me? I was half dead by the time you found me. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this. It belonged to our grandfather. He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us, to remind us to live well.
Well, I'm sure you've got big envoy things to do.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything.
If you're ever in High Crown, look us up.
Yeah, we can drink to the Corps together.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them... One of them may even get a happy ending. Sometimes.
An interesting day so far. Well, I'll be chomped by a Zarep queen. You're that godlike from the docks. I can't believe my luck. Nothing nothing all year, and then boom, interesting strangers just falling out of the sky. As a matter of fact, I have. Indeed, a young dwarf and his crew stopped by. Seemed agitated, like they were afraid of someone. They were asking all sorts of people. Seems like I was the only one willing to really speak to them. They were asking where they could find luminous Adra, of all things. Can't imagine what they'd needed it for. I said they were most likely out of luck, but I might know somewhere they might find some if they looked hard enough. Well, well, you've done your reading. You're exactly right. Not long ago, a group of animancers looked to carry out some experiments into teleportation. They carried their instruments and a healthy supply of luminous Adra to the island of Castel's Folly. It's possible there's some still there. Me? Oh no, I know better than to tread on that side of the Emperor's laws. I just knew some people at one time. Long ago. They asked me to join them in the experiment, but I've made enough mistakes to know how to avoid a big one. Question, why are you looking for those sailors? Did the Valian captain send you? Then you're either as desperate or as hard-headed as they are. The folks you're looking for are probably getting themselves killed searching for Adra that probably isn't there. I can tell you wouldn't listen to me if I warned you not to go to Castel's Folly, so I wish you luck.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make sure that wouldn't be found.
Envoy, got a situation over here.
Oh, good. You came over. Glad to see you're up and about.
For fuck's sake, can we move this along? I don't have all day.
I'm glad. I hate to admit it, but the guards could use your help. Most of us are off searching for the ones who attacked you. That leaves us short-handed, so people like her try to sneak in. I caught this one, but I have to check her cart for contraband. There's a lot to dig through. Find anything?
Between tensions in the city and threats outside,
Find anything? I knew you were hiding something. You'd better have an ironclad explanation for this.
I don't know anything. Someone's trying to set me up.
Thanks for the help, Envoy. I think I can handle it from here.
I just don't get it. It's like there's something in the soil this year.
Walk in, give her the letter, and go. You can do this. You don't have to say anything. The letter will do the talking for you. Sort of. Maybe you can help. I was seeing this girl, Nasha, down at the bathhouse. I'm sure it was just business at first, but we fell in love. I haven't been in a while, though. And the thing is, I've met someone else. I suppose. Still, I can't just abandon her. I wrote her a letter, but I'm too cowardly to deliver it. If you're headed that way, would you mind giving it to her? Thank you. I used to wonder why no one talked about this. Now I understand. Nasha should be working right now. The place is called the Mermaid's Den. It's the big one with the balcony and the round window.
haven of opulence in an otherwise nice city.
The adherents have come quietly. They will not take us by force, but with rules and charters. They will steal our city from underneath our feet. We must... You, Adherin! You herald the end of our way of life! You are a scourge upon our city! The citizens of Paradise have come to hear the truth. They need to know what will befall us if we do not deal with you. You can enforce your laws on the mainland, but you cannot stop me here. Paradise will never concede to you. You represent everything they stand for. You will find no peace here.
Do you really think the adjourned?
What do you want?
Don't sign any petitions, no matter what anyone says. I know I feel safe with the guard presence around here. There's a joke about Paradise's government in here somewhere.
It's the envoy. Get him! What was that? Hold it!
Here we go!
Don't let them escape!
Run!
Hey, you have to check in with me to enter this part of the... never mind. Doesn't matter. Oh, God. This job is boring.
Oh, bless my soul. The Adiran envoy. Isn't this a surprise? Not only to see you alive, but to have you grace my little workshop. Chandlers don't get many high-ranking clients. Priests and pilgrims mostly. Still, business is good. Better than good. I used to have an apprentice. When the Adirans came to our shore, he moved on without as much as a goodbye. But I hold no grudge. He had his reasons to go, just as I have my reasons to stay. With the gods on my side, I won't need to, but I appreciate the invitation all the same. If you need to keep warm at night, help yourself to some Mogren's Fury. It's growing in a pot just over there. No charge, of course. The Adiran envoy's money is no good here, and never will be.
I don't like to hang around Bareth's shrines too long. Just in case.
Curse my brother! Oh, Scan, into his own destruction! The thief and scoundrel has taken my goods one time too many. See to it that he is punished on the wheel, I beg of you. May he be a beetle in his next life.
We should stop by Sansa's sometime. There's nothing like it, that's for sure.
Que larde. I'd heard the godlike had come to Paradise. Come in. You're the one who survived the assassin's arrow as well, aren't you? Did your god revive you? Did you gaze upon the wheel itself? I must know.
Don't worry. Sansa loves his curios, but he won't stuff you for display until you're actually dead.
Intriguing. I admit, animancy is not my field. Maybe the Adra network of the living lands is different. But I apologize. Everyone must be asking you such things. Can I interest you in my artifacts? Or one of my maps? Ho ho! So you are familiar with my work? It's a pleasure to meet one as cultured as you. It was arduous work, but I couldn't have done it without help. Speaking of which, I hired a team of colleagues, you see, to help me cover the area. except they vanished. Let me see. Yes, this is his map of the eastern ruins. It's a start, but the other assistants are still out there somewhere. It'd be a real help to me if you could find the rest. I'll pay you for every set of notes that you bring back. I don't let our work go unrewarded. I sent one of my assistants to document each region.
You might start by checking the bounty boards. Their names should be on there.
Listen, you haven't been to the wilds east of the city, have you? Maybe that's for the best. Then have you seen a cartographer in the area? A human, about my height. His name is Girmund. He's my assistant, and I'm worried about him. I sent him to map the eastern wilds. I knew it would be perilous, but it's been a long time since he's written, even for him. If you find him and bring me his map, I'll be glad to pay you for it. I may even have more work for you. You're back! What have you found?
I hope whoever stuffed that covered their nose and mouth. Wouldn't want to mix your communal meals bowl with your or ashes of the dead bowl.